Hello crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play to earn games on the blockchain such as Splinterlands. And today we're back with another possibly controversial video, but this is data if you're a Splinterlands player and asset holder that you're going to want to tune in for and stick around and listen to all the data. So before we get into the specifics, if you appreciate the data and analysis of my videos, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's free, only takes a second, and it does help us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube so we can reach affiliate status, and right now a majority of our viewers are not subscribers. So if you'd like to see more data and analysis like what I'm about to drop, please do me a favor and tap subscribe. So with that being said, let's get into the data and analysis. I was recently actually looking at peak monsters for values in the CP for dollar bargain bin. It's a process we've discussed in other videos on this channel before, and I noticed a large amount of max level Chaos Legion reward cards being sold on the market for rock bottom prices. And it piqued my interest because all of these were being sold by the same account, and I decided to do a little investigation. And what I found was honestly very disturbing, and we'll get into some of the details there. I mean, one of the unique aspects about blockchain is pretty much everything is available for the public to see, and that can be good and it can be, well, you know, very interesting, I would say, in this case. So the two accounts I'll be taking a look at and talking about today are Mind Trades and ANPHT. Now, I'm not trying to single out these two accounts. These are just two of the accounts that I happen to look at from a bot perspective. But if you're the owner of these accounts and would like to come on the channel and do an interview and discuss the topic that we're going to talk about today, definitely please reach out to me via Discord or my YouTube channel's contact page. You can definitely do that. But my objective of this video is not to pass judgment on the owner or owners of these accounts, but to discuss what we can discern from the blockchain data associated with them. Now, if we're to look at the ANPHT account, which is this account right here, we can see that this is really the account that's the current main sell account for a bot farm. As you can see here, it gets daily transfers from other linked bot accounts, depositing here to sell the cards on the market. And I won't bore you with this. We can see all these transfers here from all these different accounts. I actually, we'll talk a little bit later about how I captured some of this data, but suffice to say, it was about an hour of page downing to just get some of the data points here. Now, this main account, this Mind Trades account, acts as a delegator of cards to some of the bot farm accounts. And what we found here, if we look at this screen as an example, is there were actually, and we won't go through all of the data here, but there was 5,057 exploding rats just on this account alone that were delegated to unique bot account names, which you can see here in the far right column. Yes, 5,057 exploding rat cards donated or delegated to 5,057 separate bot accounts. Now, each free bot account appears to be bringing in bronze 3 rewards daily and seasonally based on peak monsters explorer feed filtered on their rewards transactions, and we can take a look at that here. So here are a couple of these such bot accounts that are in the the bronze 3 level. We can see they're all just delegated the Chaos Legion reward cards here. They don't own any cards, they're not renting any cards. Here's another one, 454. Here's another one, 124, etc. And we can pull up this account here on the Explorer and check out the rewards. And we can see here they're getting 2 cards, a card in DEC, a card and a potion, etc. So these are all bronze 3 rewards. You can see here at the end of season, looks like I got 2, 4, 6, 7 reward cards. So it looks like they got up into bronze 2 for end of season. Oops, sorry, I misnoted there. It's actually 12 rewards, 2, 4, 6, 8 cards, and 4 other rewards, DEC and potion. So they actually got into silver 3 with this account. What we can also see based on blockchain transfer history, investigation really reveals that the main account is also renting anywhere between 15,000 power, which is silver 3 power requirements, up to 40,000 power for an unknown number of linked bots account in the farm that don't have cards delegated to them. And we can go through and see some of these accounts here if we flip through. So this account is renting 15,195 power, this one 40,000 power, this one 15,740, 15,000, 15,005, 20,000, 16,345, 19,200, and 16,000 here for this example. So there's a lot of CP being rented to earn the silver 3 daily rewards, and obviously no cards being owned here by this bot account. But park that though for a moment and let's do some additional digging. And going back to the main sale account, I counted after about an hour of page downs, 2,200 pages of daily card transfers, and luckily I had saved the page data at around 1,700 pages because my computer crashed shortly thereafter, just too much data for it to store apparently in memory. But I was able to take the data I was able to save, I scrubbed it, I sorted it, I removed the duplicates from this blockchain data, and was able to gather 11,966 unique bot account names that were involved in the daily transfers of cards that were meant to be collected and sold on a daily basis. Now remember, this does not include the accounts that only got potions, credits, or DEC, as they would not be recorded as transferring cards that particular day when we captured this data, which was yesterday. Now it also does not include all the other accounts that I wasn't able to identify before my computer crashed. And sorry, I'm not going to spend another hour plus tapping the page down button to recollect that data. So it's unknown how many total card account transfers this one bot account has just in 24 hours. It could be that the single user has many more than the almost 12,000 unique accounts that we're able to capture. Although it's not verified currently, we just don't know how far this rabbit hole goes. But if we just extrapolate from this partial data, an average of 1.5 common cards transferred per account per day, that equals 17,949 Chaos Legion reward commons per day. And let's take a look at an example here. So some of these transfers, you can see this account transferred 3 cards, 4 cards, 1 card, 3 cards, 2 cards, etc. So an average of 1.5 I think is very conservative here. Now, if you estimate 2 cents per card as the current value, that means this partial account of data generates $359 a day in card sales. Now, this estimate is obviously a lowball estimate because it's not complete. It doesn't account for all the gold foils, rares, epics, or legendaries that would be pulled during a day, and obviously doesn't include all of the other accounts that we weren't able to collect data on. Now, if we look at the main sales account's current holdings, it's got 501 gold foil Chaos Legion rewards card in it, worth about $934 at the current market prices. And it's unknown if this is 1 day's worth of farming or just multiple days. And the main sale account also has $9,031 in total Chaos Legion reward cards, actually 127,386 cards in total, equaling 2.667 million collection power. That's likely going to be hitting the market at some point soon, and it's unknown how many days of card transfers this truly represents. And it's also probably worth noting that this main sale account only holds Chaos Legion reward cards. So I took the liberty of going through and filtering the exploding rat delegation data. I merged it with the daily card transfer account data, and I removed all the duplicates. And what we were left with is this. It is 14,330 unique bot accounts that have been identified for this bot farm. And again, it's not inclusive of all the bots in the farm, but it is a starting point. And if, for example, Splinterlands wanted to get access to this data, I'd happily share it with them for investigative purposes. But if this bot farm is at a minimum generating several $100s a day in card farming, it's definitely impressive, but what is the cost? Well, for starters, 14,330 unique spellbooks would cost $143,300 as an upfront investment, certainly not chump change. And if we extrapolate that the bot farm is funding approximately 9,273 silver level rental accounts, and this is basically the difference in the delegated accounts versus the total unique accounts identified, as the delegated accounts didn't seem to hold rental cards. At 15,000 CP being rented for silver 3 levels at an average of 100 DEC per day to achieve those rentals, you're getting a daily operating cost of rentals for this farm at approximately $1,300 in DEC per day. And that is a lot of money, both in upfront investment, plus the daily rentals to keep things running, and the bot creation and operation costs as well that we haven't really included here. So you know that this bot owner is generating on average more than $1,300 a day in card sales just to sustain his farm rentals, not including any profit they are making. And here is the kicker. If we recall, the new Chaos Legion reward cards were introduced to the game on September 13th, 2021. And I'll link in the video description below an article that confirms this. So this extraction of game value or card farming and dumping has likely been going on for 8 months at this point in time, which is crazy. And I personally believe what we're seeing here could be considered a game exploit. The reward cards are supposed to reward actual players of the game, you know, those who know that a kitty and a llama are animals and not just a bunch of ones and zeros. And they're supposed to be rewarding players for playing the game. And the game does not exist for a computer program to print unlimited digital assets to be farmed indefinitely and sold for the profit of one individual or group of individuals. And realistically, this should be dealt with via a terms of service enforcement under the conduct sections of Splinterlands policies. If we look at Splinterlands terms of service, and I'll link this in the video description as well, the conduct policy under section 8 says you won't exploit the app for any unauthorized commercial purpose, and section 14 states you will not create user accounts by automated means or under false or fraudulent pretenses. It could be argued that on point 8, it may not be unauthorized to farm and sell cards, so maybe that could be debated if that could be enforced or not. But the policy could definitely be enforced on point 14, as I'm pretty sure no one manually created over 14,000 unique accounts by hand. Now, 4 things should happen in my humble opinion. 1, Splinterlands and Aggroed should acknowledge this issue publicly, for example, on the town hall. And secondly, Splinterlands should address the issue with the community and provide an expedited solution, for example, the new rank reward systems, as quickly as possible to stop this exploit. And as mentioned in my previous video around security and integrity of the game, Splinterlands really should, as number 3, employ a team of blockchain forensic experts to scan, identify, and close exploits, as well as enforce the terms of service when they've been violated. And 4, I really strongly believe that Splinterlands should hire an expert chief security officer that would be responsible to ensure the integrity of the game, its ecosystem, and prevent future compromises of the technology, blockchain, or game security. And this will become even more crucial and important once the validator license nodes go online as well. We don't want to see an Axie hack here in Splinterlands. So where do we go from here? Well, without the 4 things I just spoke about happening, I honestly, for the first time, would have a bearish view on Splinterlands. I really need to digest the information we've discovered here, and I will keep you in the loop on my thoughts moving forward, really until you sift through literally hundreds of pages of data, which I've done as I was collecting this information. It's really hard to fathom the magnitude of this issue. Now, some additional thoughts that I wanted to cover, right? There are also the impacts of the upcoming new ranked rewards and the impacts it will have on bot owners such as Mindtrade and the overall Splinterlands economy. If, for example, this bot farm is currently renting 15,000 power a day on approximately 9,000 bot accounts, that's 135 million daily rented collection power that poof vanishes from the rental demand side of the house just from this one farm shutting down. If Mindtrades and other bot farms go offline after the new ranked rewards go live, could the rental market crash? I think it's definitely a possibility that we shouldn't necessarily rule out of just, assumptions. Now, remember though, Splinterlands has a very complex market economy, and if the bot farms shut down, new reward cards for sale would not be flooding the market as it currently is, and therefore prices would, in theory over time, eventually stabilize and go up if, and this is the big qualifier, there was continued demand for rewards cards either from the current player base or via new players to the game. Now, with a rental market crash, there may not be demand for old reward cards and the cheap CP that they bring to bear, so we have to keep that in mind as well. One other factor to consider is that the new, yet to be introduced reward cards have not been revealed. Those card prices could be naturally higher if bots are not able to farm them. However, their print numbers will ultimately help determine the pricing relative to other Splinterlands assets. And I really do hope they reevaluate the print numbers for those cards, these new reward cards, and sync those to the actual current player base. If not, that would be doubling down on an already potentially crushing issue that we've talked about in previous videos, and that being the print number of existing Chaos Agent reward cards. One thing that we know for sure is that Mindtrade's bot farms and others like it have prematurely and artificially injected a ton of reward cards onto the market that would have otherwise taken much more time for human and real players like yourself and myself to essentially access. And this is why, again, I say the current reward cards were likely way overprinted. If we check Keokiz's website, which is right here, we can see that we're almost at about roughly half of the Chaos Legion common rewards card printed. The Heatsmith is at 49.64, the Mercenaries at 49.61, etc. Now, how many of those cards were printed due to bots farming them and never actually ever planning on using them to play the game with? And it's these kind of things that make you go, So, the Splinterlands dev team really should have a better handle on discerning the actual number of real users in the game currently versus someone like myself. And as they have access to much more raw data through their APIs and metadata such as user IP addresses and ranges, so they could sniff out pretty easily bots like Mindtrade and ANPHT, right? So I do hope that they sent the print numbers correctly for these upcoming new reward cards, and that we as players and asset holders in the game are not punished in the future due to bad planning or strategic decisions. Now, one last topic I'd like to discuss. Are bot owners looking to stay online and continuing to farm in the new ranked reward era? And I would say that MindTrade does not appear to be looking to do so, at least not using the same level of bots. If we check MindTrade's account for Chaos Legion cards themselves, we can see he only has, or they only have, $1,286 worth of Chaos Legion cards on the account, only 7,631 cards worth 53,000 collection power. And if we go to the Explorer, we can see they're actively listing Thaddeus Broods and Tarsas for sale on the market, Sloans as well. So if this bot farm was looking to stay in business and run bots in the new ranked rewards era, it wouldn't be selling summoners on the market for $1.90. That just doesn't make sense. So they're definitely not accumulating assets. It looks like they're divesting their Chaos Legion assets, which is definitely a flashing red warning sign. Per my other video, it definitely will be interesting to see after the new ranked reward system goes live, what our daily active user count goes to. I have a feeling it's going to drop precipitously, and we may see really what impact the bots had on the Splinterlands economy for all of this time. So there you have it, my initial data and some questions for the community, I'm sure, coming out of this video. Sorry, I don't have all the answers at this time. I just wanted to publish the data as soon as I had it available for the community to research on their own, and also, obviously discuss and see where we go from here. I'll be sure to follow up with a video on more concrete thoughts and possible predictions as I digest the data and get to a more definitive point here. But I would be curious to get your thoughts on this data in the comments section below in the meantime. And I know this video has already gone on for quite a bit, so I'm going to end it here. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, keep stacking those stats.
That's entertainment.